Leah.SE. I've been in Thunder Mountain Riders 4-H Club for 4 years, and today I present horseshoes. First, let's get to know our friendly neighborhood hoof. We can see here the basic parts of the hoof. We have the bar along the outside, the sole, which is this big part, the frog, and then this back here is the heel. Many people like to compare a horse's lower legs to our human hands. We can see that they compare the radius and the ulna here. The carpal bones are the blue. The metacarpal 3 and the cannon bone are metacarpal 2 or splint bones. On the horse, they're like these little parts you can't really see. Oops. I don't know. Hello, my name is Leah.SE. I have been in Thunder Mountain Riders 4-H Club for 4 years. Today I present horseshoes. First, let's get to know our friendly neighborhood hoof. We can see here the heel. The bar is this rim around the outside. The sole here, and then we have the frog. Many people like to compare our horse's lower legs to our human hands. We can see here that the radius and the ulna are similar. Our carpal bones are also similar. Our metacarpal 3 is similar to a horse's cannon bone. Our metacarpal 2 is similar to the medial splint bones here on the horse. Our proximal planx is similar to the long pastern, and our intermediate planx to the short pastern here. And then we have our distal planx, similar to the horse's coffin bone. To shoe or not to shoe? That is the question. Here we'll cover the basic horseshoes, or where horseshoes all started, the basic types of horseshoes, reasons to and not to put shoes on your horses, alternatives to shoes, then advantages and disadvantages of horseshoes. A brief history of horseshoes. When horses came into play, it was noticed continually had sore feet, or if they lived in wetter climates, they had soggy feet that also hurt. The first maker of horseshoes is unknown, but the first shoes were made of bronze, and they had only 6 holes for nailing into the hoof. By the 12th century, shoes were cast from iron and could be used as currency because coins were also made of iron. Between the 13th and 14th centuries, shoes were pre-made by the hundreds. Then they were sold to individual horse owners to put on their horses' feet themselves. This is the basic shoe. They're used on This is the basic horseshoe. They're the most common type of shoe, and they're used on mostly recreational horses. This type of shoe is called a rim shoe. This groove that runs along the whole shoe, it offers extra traction, and these shoes are common in events like barrel racing, roping, cutting, just like where the horses move fast and need to have that traction for their tight turns. A bar shoe is basically a closed shoe. Having the back of the shoe closed off offers additional support for the horse's heel. This is an egg bar shoe. It is essentially the same as a bar shoe, but it offers even more support by extending past the heel. They're typically used on horses with navicular disease. This is a heart bar shoe. It offers extra support not only to the heel, but also to the frog, and they're typically used on horses with laminitis. This is a racing shoe. It's very similar to the rim shoe because it has the same edge for grip, but they're made out of aluminum for race horses so that they're lighter weight when the horses are running down the track. This is a slider. It's basically the opposite of a rim shoe because they're used on reining horses so that they can have those big exaggerated sliding stops. They just encourage the horse to slide along the ground. Reasons to put shoes on horses. The biggest reason to put shoes on your horse or to shod them is if they live or work in a terrain with hard or rocky ground. Another reason is called corrective shoeing. This can mean anything from a temporary shod to help reshape hooves, or to using shoes like bar shoes to help with lameness, soreness, or sensitivity. Reasons not to put shoes on horses. Shoes cost more than trimming and aren't always needed. Some horses will continually pull their shoes, and it may not be worth trying to keep them on. And if, to pull a shoe, it means that the horse basically, gets it off and the nails get pulled out of their hoof. Alternatives to shoes. If your horse has cracked or broken hooves, or if there just isn't enough hoof to nail a shoe onto, glue-on shoes are an option. They literally get glued onto the horse's hoof instead of nailed on. Hoof boots are another option if shoes are out of the picture. They get put onto the horse's hooves before they are worked and taken off after. These are also really good to use on ice because you can get them with studs, but it's different because your horse doesn't have to have them on the whole time, and they don't cause a danger when they're not in use. Advantages of shoes. Certain shoes offer additional grip or support for certain equestrian disciplines, like our racing shoes, our sliders, or our rim shoes. Shoes offer immediate relief for sore hooves or horses living on rough terrain. Or if your horse has hooves that are prone to cracks, shoes can help reduce cracking. Disadvantages of shoes. Regular shoes tend to have less grip than bare hooves. They can change the shape of the horse's hooves for the worse, which can cause lameness. Shoes need to be tended to more constantly than bare hooves. And shoes can be more of a danger in the pasture if the horse, or to the horse itself, or to pasture mates, like during play or whatever they're doing. Some fun facts. Did you know that hot shod means that the shoe is pressed onto the horse's hoof while it is almost red hot? I have a little video where we can see a hot shoe getting put onto the horse's hoof. Shoes are pressed onto the horse's hooves like this so that farriers can see how well the shoe fits. They can look at the burn marks on the hoof to see if there are any to see where if the shoe is slightly bent, the hoof wouldn't be as burned, and they have to put them back in the oven to reshape them. Again, my name is Leah.SE. This is my 4th year in Thundermount Riders 4-H Club. Thank you and have a nice day.